There is a voice inside of you that knows the way. A voice that is always speaking, always guiding, always pointing you toward the best possible path. It is your intuition, the gentle whisper of wisdom within. You have felt it before. That moment when you just knew something without any logical reason. Maybe you suddenly thought of an old friend and moments later they called you. Maybe you sensed danger before anything bad actually happened. Or maybe you walked into a room and immediately felt the energy shift, even though nothing was visibly wrong. This is intuition, your built-in guidance system, constantly leading you towards safety, love, and success. Yet, so many people ignore it. They brush off the feelings, the nudges, the inner knowing, thinking it's just their imagination. But intuition is not imagination. It is real. It is a powerful force that can help you make better decisions, avoid unnecessary struggles, and create a life that flows with ease. When you trust your intuition, life becomes smoother. You stop forcing things that aren't meant for you. You avoid unnecessary pain. You naturally align with opportunities that bring you joy and fulfillment. But how do you recognize this voice? How do you separate it from fear, doubt, and overthinking? And most importantly, how do you learn to trust it fully? This is the key to living with grace and confidence. When you listen to your intuition, you are no longer at war with yourself. You no longer feel lost or uncertain. You move through life with a sense of clarity and deep inner peace. Your intuition will never force itself upon you. It will never shout. It will never demand your attention. It speaks in a whisper, in a feeling, in a deep inner knowing. It is the soft voice inside that says, "Go this way," or "Something isn't right here." It is the sudden thought that pops into your mind, the gut feeling that tells you to stay or walk away. It does not argue. It does not explain itself. It simply presents the truth. Think of a time when you ignored your intuition. Perhaps you had a feeling that you shouldn't trust someone, but you pushed it aside, only to be hurt later. Or maybe you knew deep down that a job, a relationship, or a decision wasn't right for you, but you convinced yourself otherwise. And in the end, you realized that your first instinct was correct all along. Intuition does not rely on logic, and that is why so many people struggle to trust it. The mind wants facts, proof, and explanations, but intuition is a deeper knowing that exists beyond logic. It sees what the mind cannot see. It feels what the eyes cannot yet perceive. It connects you to something greater than yourself, something beyond the limitations of rational thought. The more you listen to this quiet voice, the stronger it becomes. The more you trust it, the more guidance it will provide. It does not need to be loud to be powerful. Its power lies in its truth. And when you begin to live by this truth, everything in your life starts to align in ways you never imagined. If intuition is so powerful, why do so many people ignore it? The answer is simple. We have been trained to doubt ourselves. From a young age, we are taught to rely on facts, data, and the opinions of others. We are told to think logically, to weigh the pros and cons, to follow what is reasonable. But intuition does not follow logic. It is not something that can always be explained or proven. It simply is. Fear is one of the biggest reasons people ignore their intuition. The mind constantly questions, what if I'm wrong? What if I make a mistake? What if I regret this later? And so, instead of trusting that first instinct, we overanalyze. We go back and forth, trying to find a logical answer. We ask others for their opinions, hoping they will confirm what we already know deep down. Another reason we ignore intuition is that society places more value on external knowledge than inner wisdom. Schools teach facts, not feelings. Businesses focus on strategies, not instincts. The world conditions us to believe that intelligence comes from outside of us, not within us. And so we lose touch with our own knowing. We become disconnected from the very voice that has our best interest at heart. We also ignore intuition when we are too busy, too distracted, or too caught up in the noise of daily life. With so much external stimulation, phones, social media, work, responsibilities, there is little room for stillness. And intuition speaks in stillness. It is drowned out by the constant chatter of the world, waiting patiently for us to slow down and listen. But intuition never goes away. It is always there, always available, always ready to guide us back to ourselves. No matter how many times we have ignored it in the past, we can always choose to start listening now. The moment we do, we begin to move in harmony with life instead of against it. We begin to trust that we are always being guided, always being led, always being supported in the most beautiful way. Intuition speaks to each of us in different ways. Sometimes it is a quiet thought that enters your mind out of nowhere. Other times, it is a deep feeling in your heart or a sensation in your body. It might be a sudden urge to go a different route, a feeling of excitement about an opportunity, or an uneasy sense when something is wrong. These are the signals your intuition uses to communicate with you. Have you ever made a decision that felt right, even when you couldn't explain why? That is intuition. Have you ever ignored a feeling that something wasn't quite right, only to regret it later? That too was your intuition speaking to you. It is always there, sending you messages, but many people don't recognize them or second-guess them when they appear. One of the most common ways intuition speaks is through the body. Your body is incredibly wise. It picks up on energy and signals before your mind fully understands what is happening. If you feel light, open, or warm about a decision, that is often a sign that it is the right one for you. If you feel heavy, tense, or uneasy, that is usually your intuition warning you to be careful. Think about a time when your body reacted before your mind did. Maybe you met someone new, and even though they seemed nice, you felt something was off. Maybe you were about to make a decision, and your stomach tightened with discomfort. These are intuitive signals. They are not random. They are there to protect you, guide you, and lead you toward what is best for you. To strengthen your ability to trust these signals, begin by paying attention. Notice how your body reacts when you feel safe and comfortable versus when you feel uneasy or unsure. Observe how your mind responds when you are in alignment with a decision versus when you are forcing something that isn't right. The more you tune in, the more natural it becomes. The key to trusting your intuition is to stop dismissing it. Instead of thinking, "I'm just imagining this," or "maybe I'm overreacting," start saying, "I trust myself. I trust my inner wisdom." The more you affirm this, the stronger your connection with your intuition becomes. One of the most common questions people ask about intuition is, How do I know if it's my intuition speaking or just my fear? It's an important question because both can feel strong and both can influence your decisions. But there is a key difference. Fear is loud. It is anxious, panicked, and filled with self-doubt. It rushes you into making decisions from a place of worry. It often tells you all the things that could go wrong. It creates tension in your mind and body. Fear thrives on overthinking and worst-case scenarios. Intuition, on the other hand, is calm. It is never rushed. It does not push or pressure you. It simply presents the truth with clarity. It does not create panic. It creates understanding. It does not fill you with doubt. It fills you with certainty. A good way to tell the difference is to ask yourself, does this feeling come from a place of peace or from a place of worry? Intuition comes from peace. Even when it warns you of something, it does so with a steady knowing presence. It doesn't create chaos in your mind. It simply nudges you toward what is right. For example, if you feel a strong urge to leave a situation, but the feeling is accompanied by inner calmness and certainty, that is intuition. But if you feel a sense of panic and what-if thoughts flooding your mind, that is fear. Another way to separate fear from intuition is to notice whether the feeling lingers. Fear comes in waves. It rises and falls, constantly changing based on external circumstances. Intuition is steady. It remains, even when the emotions around it shift. To practice distinguishing between the two, take a deep breath and sit with your thoughts. When you quiet your mind, you will notice that intuition feels like a soft, undeniable truth, while fear feels restless and uncertain. The more you listen, the easier it becomes to recognize the difference. Intuition is not just for life-changing decisions. It is meant to guide you in your daily life, helping you with even the smallest choices. The more you practice using it in simple moments, the stronger and clearer it becomes. When you wake up in the morning, listen to what your body is telling you. What do you need today? More rest? Fresh air? A slower pace? Your intuition knows exactly what is best for you, but you must be willing to listen. When making decisions, even minor ones, pause for a moment and tune in. If you are choosing what to eat, notice what your body is craving. If you are deciding whether to go somewhere, check in with how it feels. If you are about to agree to something, take a moment to ask yourself, does this feel right for me? The key to using intuition in everyday life is to stop overcomplicating it. You don't have to meditate for hours or wait for a mystical sign. Intuition is already present in the small, quiet moments. It is in the way you instinctively reach for a certain book. It is in the sudden idea that comes to you in the shower. It is in the gentle nudge to call someone at just the right time. When you begin trusting your intuition in the little things, you will find that it naturally guides you in the big things as well. You no longer need to analyze every choice. You don't have to seek endless advice from others. You can trust yourself because you know that the answers are already within you. Some of the most successful people in the world rely on intuition. They don't always follow what makes the most logical sense. They follow what feels right. They trust that inner guidance, and because of that, they move through life with more ease and flow. You too can live this way. You can allow intuition to gently lead you, not just in major life choices, but in the daily moments that shape your future. The more you trust, the easier life becomes. The more you listen, the smoother your path unfolds. Your intuition is always speaking to you, but are you listening? In a world filled with noise, distractions, and constant movement, it is easy to miss the quiet voice within. Intuition does not compete for your attention. It waits for you to be still. The more you create space for silence, the louder your inner guidance becomes. We are often so busy trying to control everything, planning every step, thinking ahead, and analyzing every detail that we leave no room for intuition to guide us. But when you slow down, when you allow yourself to simply be, intuition finds its way to you. Stillness is the doorway to deeper wisdom. When you sit quietly, without the need to solve anything, your intuition rises to the surface. It may come as a gentle knowing, a new perspective, or a feeling of certainty about what to do next. The answers you have been seeking are not outside of you. They are within you, waiting for you to create the space to receive them. Try this. Close your eyes, take a deep breath, and ask, "What do I need to know right now?" Then simply sit in stillness. Don't force an answer. Just listen. If nothing comes right away, that's okay. Trust that your intuition is always working, even when you don't hear it immediately. Sometimes the answers come later, in the quiet moments of your day. Silence is not empty, it is full of answers. And when you make space for it, you will find that your path becomes clearer, your decisions become easier, and life begins to flow in a way that feels natural and effortless. Your intuition is your greatest ally when it comes to relationships. It sees what your eyes cannot. It feels what words do not reveal. It picks up on energy, unspoken emotions, and subtle shifts that your mind may overlook. Have you ever met someone and immediately felt at ease, as if you had known them forever? That is intuition recognizing a safe and aligned connection. And have you ever been around someone who seemed perfectly fine on the surface, yet something inside of you felt uneasy? That is intuition warning you. Many people get hurt in relationships because they ignore these signals. They focus on words rather than energy. They believe what people say rather than how they feel in their presence. But the body never lies. Pay attention to how you feel when you are around someone. Do you feel uplifted or drained? Do you feel safe or on edge? Your intuition will always tell you if someone is right for you or not. Intuition also helps you recognize the people who are meant to be in your life. Sometimes we meet someone and feel an immediate connection without knowing why. These are the relationships that hold meaning and purpose. They come into your life to teach, support, and help you grow. When choosing who to let into your inner world, don't just use your mind, use your intuition. The right people will feel natural. Their energy will be open, warm, and easy to be around. The wrong people will feel heavy, complicated, or unsettling, even if you can't explain why. Trust that feeling. It is there to protect you and guide you toward relationships that nourish your soul. There are moments in life when things don't make sense. Doors close. Opportunities slip away. Plans fall apart. In these moments, it is easy to doubt, to feel lost, to wonder if you are on the wrong path. But what if everything is happening exactly as it should? Your intuition connects you to something greater than yourself, the divine intelligence that orchestrates all things. When you trust your intuition, you are also trusting that the universe is guiding you toward the highest good. Even when things seem uncertain, even when you don't understand why something is happening, there is always a reason. Sometimes intuition leads you away from something because something better is waiting. Sometimes it urges you to let go, not because you are losing, but because you are being redirected towards something greater. The more you listen to your intuition, the more you move in harmony with life. You stop fighting against what is. You stop forcing things that are not meant for you. You begin to flow, to trust, to allow life to unfold in the perfect way that it was always meant to. The universe is not against you. It is for you. It is always working on your behalf, always leading you toward love, joy, and fulfillment. Your intuition is the voice of this divine guidance, gently showing you the way. And when you follow it, life becomes easier. Decisions become clearer. Your path becomes smoother. You were never meant to struggle through life, uncertain and confused. You were born with an inner compass, a guiding light that always knows the way. Your intuition is here to support you, to protect you, and to lead you toward the life you are meant to live. The more you listen to it, the stronger it becomes. The more you trust it, the more effortless life becomes. Every answer you seek, every direction you need, is already within you. You don't need to look outside of yourself. You simply need to quiet the noise, trust your feelings, and follow where your heart is leading you. Take a moment now. Place your hand over your heart. Close your eyes and say, "I trust my intuition. I trust the wisdom within me. I allow life to guide me with love and ease." Repeat this every day. The more you affirm it, the more natural it will feel. Your intuition is not separate from you. It is you. It is your highest self, your deepest truth, your greatest wisdom. Trust it. Follow it. Let it lead you. And watch how beautifully your life unfolds.